Hey, loves. My little man isn't here with me. He is nonverbal autistic. So, just letting y'all know, in case if you're new to my channel. This is going to be an educational type video, maybe inspirational. I don't know. I have no idea. It's going to be topics of twin flames, including my own and then my own personal stuff that's going on right now. Because I kind of do need some prayers, energy healing, whatever. That's good. and, I also need I'm going to be talking about, I'm trying to remember, yeah, the motion code session. I'm going to be sharing that as well. I am pretty tired, so kind of bear with me because I'm still trying to play catch up on sleep, but I'm not there yet. So I don't have the full on energy that I'm going to be needing anyway for this session, but I'm still going to be showing it anyway. And I'm hoping it's a light type of session and not a really heavy butt kicker one, because any type of work that we do on ourselves also helps our twin flame as well. So it's not just for us, it's for them too. And then it's also for our family lineage and things like that. Now, if we're both resonating with a certain specific thing at the same time that relates to both of our families in specific ways, because I'd have to break it all down to explain, it can work with both of us, the twin flames, and our family lineage. Like I said, it has to be specific ways and things like that. So, but yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead, I guess, and get right into it. I'm thinking of also pulling, because what's going on is, again, I'm going to be getting personal. So this is kind of like my journaling, but again, it's for people that can maybe be helpful for their inspiration or whatever, whatever the reason is. Anyways, and I'll get more into this sometime and I'll explain it more because this goes like with my podcast and things like that as well, blogs. Okay, so I got so much to say, y'all. I don't even know where to start. And that's why I know this video is going to be long, and I apologize. I don't know if it's going to be like uploaded in sections or what I'm going to do with it yet. And it's going to depend on how long. Maybe I can make it kind of quick. I don't know. I doubt it. So I'm using my StreamYard right now because I'm like, this is going to be probably pretty lengthy. So my personal life, I'm going to try to make this as quick as I can. And I'm hoping that it's helpful for anybody that's struggling, whether it's in similar situations or the energies are similar, whatever the reasons are. Maybe there's something that could be helpful. Or maybe you have something helpful to tell me in the comments. I don't know, maybe. But basically, what's going on is I've had to take this weekend and I had to relax. I was like, okay, I'm all over the place. I'm getting erratic. There's too many emotions. There's too much going on. And I was like, something's got to give. I can't do this no more. Like for days, for like a week or whatever now. And I'll explain why I was going through this because I didn't realize it at the time until finally I was like, oh, that's what's going on. Because when you're working with your twin flame path, there's also paranormal things on it as well. That's just how it is. Anywho's, because there's so much to talk about right now. Anyways, basically, like I was literally blaring music in my ear, which I'm so glad to not be doing right now because my ears are just like, please give me a break. But I was blaring music, I just nonstop, like I was walking around doing everything. I'd do the dishes, whatever that I was doing, I had to have my music blaring. Like I just wanted to just escape, get away. It was just too much. And but I've been through this before. And the reason why I've been through that is because over at my other house, I had a lot of paranormal things that was going on. Like that was the start of my cleansing journey, learning to there's attachments that you can release from yourself, from objects. There's different types of doorways. There's elemental things. Like there's so many different things that I was learning over there, and so that was the start of it. And I ended up having to throw away a lot of things. Like too many things got tainted and like there was just no cleansing it. Like there's just certain things you just can't cleanse. It's too embedded. It's too deep. It's too much. And if you would just gift it to somebody else, you're just going to cause them problems. And so I was like, I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to make sure that this does not get in anybody's hands. And so a lot of it was like family things and things like it's always, if you've noticed that, if you're a medium or whatever, I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but a lot of the times the things that are attached is usually sentimental. And so that's where through the years I've had to also learn like, okay, I'm going to have to start learning how to get tougher skin. What do I do? Like, I finally realized, like, material is material. And, I had to go through different processes and different steps and stuff. And so I finally realized, like, right now, I'm being pushed at that again because my dreams, I finally manifested my beautiful blue freaking car. It's a, what was it, 2016 Dodge Challenger, 392 or whatever, SRT. I don't know all that special stuff, but I know it's all that. Anyways, coupe version, the 2-door thing and all that, but it was perfect. And I might put that on my Instagram, a picture of it, because my brother's working with me. He's way up north, but I'm hoping that's where I'm fixing to get into in a minute, what's going on with all this. That's where I will need some prayers and stuff, like, seriously. I'll explain all that in a minute. But so he's helping me trying to figure with Carvana or whatever, like, how much it's going to sell for, and all that stuff. And I really did not want to sell this because eventually I really wanted to drive this car. But I'm at the point now that it's like, if I'm going to live here and take care of my son, guess what? You're going to have to sell the car. So that's where I'm at right now. And so maybe in time, I can get one that at least is not going to be tainted by the person that, I was with. The problem is that, and why I need prayers and everything, is because, I had mentioned before that out of the kindness of my heart, basically this person is always have been taking advantage of me, the kindness and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm still paying for the cell phone bill and taking care of the cats and all this kind of other stuff. And it's been since last year or whatever. And I'm just trying to make sure, because I believe in, if you can help, if you're able to, which I was, but I'm not able to now, try to help people get back on their feet, especially in the situations that we were in. That's just how I think, I just want to do the right thing. Maybe it is the wrong thing. I don't know. But anyways, so I basically mentioned, like, look, at the time when I had mentioned it, I was like, well, maybe I'll have a little bit longer, to live here. Maybe things are going to go, the miracle is going to happen, and, this, that, and the other. And so I found out just recently, no, it's not going to happen right now, or I don't think anytime too soon. However, there's other things that can happen, maybe like his SSA and all that. We'll get to that in a minute because that's what I got to talk about anyway, too. Anyway, so basically, I'm going to have to sell the car, and the person basically is, because I had mentioned, like I said, that, or like I was supposed to be saying, because I'm all over the place right now. There's too much to talk about. Basically had said that, that I had mentioned that, and they're basically demanding that they're going to get half of it, whatever it sells for, that I'm going to give them the title to the car, and that he's going to get half because he's going to get him a vehicle, and then I get the other half. No, that's my vehicle. I said at the time, I thought that, I was going to be able to do this at the time. I'm not able to do this. So I need the full amount. And when I haven't mentioned this yet, as far as I'm fixing to let him know that, if he doesn't cooperate, be careful, baby, I need that on there. I'm going to end up having to call the cops. And I know that things are going to go south because he's already made that threat that basically, if he doesn't basically get his way, pretty much, that somebody's going to get hurt. And so I already know his past. I know a lot of things. And, again, even if, I'm in the situation that I'm in, it's still their privacy kind of thing. So anyways, all I can really say is I need prayers, like, really, because, it's just me and my little man, and I don't have no help. I don't have no protection. I don't have any of that kind of stuff. So I really do need prayers, energy healing, whatever you can do that you can send that you feel that, is needed. I would really, really appreciate that. And, yeah, so I'm kind of worried because that's what my plan is, because this week I'm going to start, I don't know if I'll have many videos. I might still, I don't know yet. Depends on how editing has to go and all that kind of stuff. But because, like I said, there's a lot to talk about, a lot of videos that I got to make. I still got to do the blogging and all this other stuff. But my first focus is I'm going to have to mention to him, he's going to have to understand that if he doesn't cooperate, the cops are going to have to basically be called. So I don't want it to go that far, but he is the one that is doing this. And he's already got he's got his security over there. This is my security. I need to be able to keep living here. I need to be able to keep affording it. I need to be able, and that's my vehicle in the first place. So anyway, so yeah, so like I said, prayers and everything is definitely needed. So this week I'm working on that. Probably, if I can, I would like to hold off to do that maybe Tuesday, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen yet, but I got to work on that. I got to work on the SSA for him. I got to work on the Medicaid for him. Well, no, I think that one's pretty much being worked on. I still got to call Spindletop. There's a few things basically that I got to work on that hopefully can also help with. It sounds like I probably won't even be able to get food stamps at all. So I don't know how I'm going to make it or what I'm going to do. After I work on all of that, once whatever comes in, because I got to get some sort of income coming in, then I'm going to start trying to work on that writer's work thing to where I got to make a portfolio. So I'll be making blogs and different things as well. So I'll be sharing that with y'all. That's probably, I don't know how I'm going to do all this yet. We'll figure it out, but I'm going to work on that. And then um, I'll probably start making listings on Tidu because like right now I don't have money coming in. So I had to shut my Etsy shop down for the moment. It's on vacation mode. And so I'm going to go ahead and do Tidu. And the reason why, and I mentioned this for y'all as well, because anybody that is online trying to sell anything, and you're like, let's say you're on Etsy or any other platform like that where they take money out and everything, on Tidu, they don't take no money out. You're basically getting everything. Now, of course, you got sales tax, that kind of stuff. But other than that, you pretty much get the bulk of it. So, like, let's say I did a $35 reading or whatever. Just giving an example, and I'm probably going to charge more, especially with everything that I'm doing, because I'm going to be doing combined. I don't think I'm going to do just solo. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, let's just say $35. By the time it's said and done through sales tax and Etsy and this, that, and the other, you're probably getting about like $22 or whatever. It's like you're not getting nothing anymore. And so what are you going to do, And then a lot of people on there are trying to sell it for like $5. And I'm like, I am not using my time, my energy, and everything for $5 to not even buy. I don't even know if you can buy a pack of gum anymore with that. I have no idea. I haven't even been out. So I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, so that's pretty much going on with that. I know that he's he's crazy. And it should have never happened anyway in the first place. I was divorced for 10 years and I was single that whole time. And then my friend comes over and then he comes over with her because he was supposed to be getting with her. And it ended up where it was so stupid. Basically, everything that I had sensed, like I was warned, like at the get go, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. It was like, because at the time, I was confused because I was still cleansing. And so I had set up like this beautiful twin flame crystal grid and everything. I had like sigils, I drew stuff. It was real pretty. And he had seen it and everything. It's like, oh, that's for me. Blah, blah, blah. Well, anyway, so things like that got me confused. And so now that I know that my path is I know it's much clearer, y'all, because even today, like things are happening the way that it's never happened that I've heard of by people. Like the manifesting, I don't know how you're pulling this stuff up, Mike. I have been trying to get him to stop. Like I can't order food. I have to cook. I mean, I'm sorry, baby boy. But because of the money situation and everything. I'm trying to remember where I knew I was going to get distracted. There's too much going on. When I'm on that program, the Naturally Recovering Autism program, my mind is sharp. It's crystal clear. I remember I get right back on point, this, that, and the other. When I'm not doing that, I'm all over the place. So I apologize for that. Because like he could do that and I'd be right back on. Like I would not even skip a beat. So let's see, I don't have time to edit and I'm on the computer, so I won't be writing it down like I usually do with my cell phone. Because I'm trying to keep everything going as quick as I can. Because like I said, there's much to talk about. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get into, I'll get back to that, I'm sure, sometime. I might write like a note down because when I rewatch the videos and editing, Sometimes I'll write it down, and then sometimes I'm guided to go ahead and go back and make another video, and then go from there. If you are interested into it, leave a comment on anything that I forget or whatever. Be like, hey, I'm really interested. What was it? And I can leave a comment and make a video or whatever. Anyway, if anybody does watch this, because that's the thing. The only way you can get out there basically is you either got to know a lot of people, you got to have a lot of money, because you got to get like a lot of shout outs and all kinds of stuff, and you got to have really good content. And my content is just not what people are looking for. So I know some do, but this isn't entertaining. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's in a different category and things like that. So I'm not going to get out there like other people will, but anyways, and especially right now while we're really going through some division again, because I can feel it again. And I've noticed some posts. I don't do anything with the media. I'm sorry. That's just, no, there's just no point in that for me. But I'm not going to play the games of having my emotions all over the place and flip flop from this and that. I'm just, I'm not going to fight people. I'm not going to get triggered. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to wish well. I'm going to be as positive as I can and things like that. And that's what, one of the things that I was saying earlier was that I'm noticing that I'm manifesting and like things are opening up and like things are just going differently. And I'm really pushing like really, really, really hard this time, because recently I ended up where I was getting like really dark again. Not dark. It was like a different type of dark, because I've already been down deep dark. Been there. Never going back to that. But this, I knew something was wrong because it was so chaotic, such a way that I knew was familiar. And that's where, God, man, there's so much to talk about. Like, I'm already diverging from that topic, whatever it was I forgot, and the twin flame thing. Let's just go right into the twin flame thing then, because that's what this is. And so I already knew it was familiar. And so I had opened up a can of worms, and I knew I did, but I totally forgot about it because I am doing too much. I'm trying to do twin flame healing. I'm trying to do like a whole bunch of things. And so when I was doing cleansing on the properties and stuff, it ended up where, and then not only that, when I watch videos too, basically us mediums and specific people, whatever name you go by and all that title, this, that, the other, we are usually absorb, we're magnets. And so basically it's just like, oh, she's a medium, and sometimes they'll attach or whatever. And it's not necessarily attached. Sometimes they'll just, make like a doorway or whatever. They can come back and forth. And, there's different ways they do that. Anyways, and so while I've been watching the stuff, I gotta be mindful now because I'm probably not gonna be editing, so I'm gonna try to be careful. Basically, it ended up where it's absorbing and magnet and things like that, and so I'm reading into it once I realize what's going on, because at first I didn't know. Like, it's been quite a while, like months or so. And at first I was just like, man, this don't feel right. Is it something here? What's going on? Because I still had a little bit left over here as well. And so I think I finally got the last of it. I think it seems so, because the way to know too is when you're communicating with spirits and things like that, if you do this, you'll notice that things like the communication gets a lot clearer and things like that as well. So I'm not going to get banned, maybe. Let me see that. I know, honey. I know you won't. Okay, you want more food? All right, give me a minute, y'all. I will be right back. Let's go. You are a handful today. All right, so it's funny. Little man started snoring too, also, because that's his way of letting me know he's tired and he's ready for bed. And I'm noticing that too. He's already got food to eat. Yes, you got food, so leave my phone alone because I need it for the thing. Gosh, Mike, you already, there it is. My emotion code chart that I'm going to need in a minute, and then I can't remember everything. Speaking of, I am going to need, which one today? This one? This one's this one. For some reason, I'm being guided to do this pendulum. Quartz crystal. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I'll be doing. I'm not good with the muscle testing and all that kind of stuff because that's how you're supposed to be doing it. You can do the pendulum method as their second preferred method, but they prefer the muscle testing over the pendulum. Me, I feel I love the pendulum, but it is very, very draining because the energies and everything. And so, but for me, I really love it because I can like while I'm feeling like what answer it is, I just am double checking. And then when it happens like that, then it's like fantastic. And then there's been times too where I'm like, oh, I'm confident, I know this one. And then it's like the opposite. I'm like, oh. And then you got to go and go. But anyway, so I might be able to keep this short today anyway, because there is a lot more that I need to say about the twin flame stuff. But with me being so tired and not focusing so well, I feel it probably would be best because in case if I slip up on and say anything wrong or whatever, that it would be best if I do this more alert. So maybe tomorrow if I have enough time, if it might not be tomorrow, well, maybe tomorrow. Because like I said, as soon as I open up those can of worms, things are just going to be, I won't be able to focus, my emotions, I'll probably get erratic again and things like that because the anxiety raises. And, like I said, it's a situation that I'm in because it's a dangerous one with somebody that just won't grow up. Anyway, and it's not a matter of just growing up. It's a lot of things that, like the choosing of sticking to a specific path and, things like that. Anyway, but I will do the cards. I'm going to do the session. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into that. So like I said, maybe I'll keep this on one video. It might be a long video because we're already 21 minutes in. If I can tomorrow, I will try to do another one, and it will be more focused on the twin flame thing, a little bit of my situation probably, because like I said, I want to help others as well that maybe, go through, similar things and things that can help them while they have, anxiety or whatever. Because like right now at the moment, I don't. But I know, like I said, once I open up those can of worms, I will, and it will be hard for me to make these videos. So just for the time being until whatever straightens out and, things like that. All right. Oh, there is one thing I did want to do though for the twin flame with the cards. Let me do this real quick and then I might jot it down so I can read into it later or when I can. Because let me see, I need it over here so I can actually look up and everything instead of it being over here. I'm going to use my mediumship deck for the twin flame thing because I just want to kind of be sure because I'm noticing like what I did worked, but like the energies are a little bit left on him. And I do need to figure out what to do with that. As far as like, is it paranormal? I don't think it's just paranormal. The paranormal, I think for that is going to be the residuals. So maybe a little more residual cleansing for that. And then I think it's other type of energies, personal things that's going on that is not properly being released. Like, kind of basically like what I was just going through myself. The energy is so erratic and everything. And it's just the emotions, the moods, everything is just so, it's just out of whack and stuff. And so I think that maybe I'm going to have to figure, like, this is new to me as far as this part. I know we're supposed to do the energy healing, the work and all this kind of stuff with our twin flame and ourselves. I think that's what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to tap into and figure how he can, anyways, like I said, I got to be careful. So I'm going to try to be as mindful because, like I said, I am tired. But I do want to do this real quick just to see. And I will probably do this again on the next video. Problem is I got like different sections. Like I said, this is my cards and that I had created. It's hard. You can't even tell. Anyway, I have like different sections. So I have another set of cards too that is mine as well. I'll be showing that too. That'll be on the later reading. But right now I was guided earlier to do this. And so I'm like, well, I better do this today. And if I was guided to do that. And then, like I said, I will finish this. So, like, for instance, and then once, if I do get back into making my mediumship course and all of that, and people are actually interested in this, and I am stable at that time or whatever, then I might go ahead and create this deck for others to purchase, if they like it. And I'll explain what it is, because like I said, they're in sections, and it helps because it helps to identify, break things down quicker, confirm, things like that. And I was guided to create it this way. So I didn't even put a cover. Like, I still got to put like a cover on it. I still have to do the guidebook and other aspects. But, you know, I'm so limited on time. And so, anyway, I didn't want it to go that far, but it did. Like I said, I'm trying to stay. Roses is what I did for the artwork. Like this one you might be able to see. But it like got all squished and everything because of the, and then I think that's it. Oh yeah. I even have the angel numbers too. Angel numbers. It's hard to tell. With the butterfly and the rose and all that. Okay. So the first, like, because some of them are just only a few cards, some of them are a decent amount, or some are a lot, not many lots. There's 1, 2, 3 that have a good amount. 1, 2, 3 that have a little lesser, and then I think about also 3 that's less than that. All right. It's your question answered cards. What is it cards? Amount of time, how long cards. What it can be cards. I might kind of take away the cards thing, because now that I actually can sit and look and focus and things like that. Yeah. Anyways, guided messages from, where is it? Second question cards. Which kind of divination tools to help, and angel numbers. Okay. So what I usually like to do is go down it and just kind of let it be. And so that's what I think we're going to do. All right. I feel like it's this one. I'm just trying to make sure. It feels like it's these two. Gosh, there's actually a lot so far. And it's probably because of how much and other factors as well. That's weird. There's no way it's the whole freaking pile. I've never had that happen. Is it? Oh, that's weird. That is weird. It's literally the whole pile for this, which is the guided messages from. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's like getting very, very lots. So I'm going to try to go through this as quick as I can and try to quickly do the emotion code. I think we're going to end up probably having to. Oh man, there's a lot I can tell that I got to go through. Okay, hang on, baby. Give me a second. I don't know if you shut the door or what you did, but. Yeah, I can tell you're in a picking mood still. I hear you, my little picker. 3. See, now that's going to be the thing, is I feel like, because it could be, because of it being twin flames, it might be trying to do both, like 4 locations. I don't know, but I know it's a lot that's coming up. Oh my God. Because like I say, whenever you do cleansing, basically what happens is it ends up where you remove things or whatever that was needed at that moment, and then it opens up and makes room for the other stuff that's there that surfaces that needs to be removed at those moments. And so sometimes it's like, depending on the type of paranormal and this, that, and the other. So, like, let's say, like, the dark things and everything, there's like a hierarchy or whatever that's going on. And so you got one that's like insane, you got another one that's just crazy or whatever. And basically, they're like the insane's over the crazy or something, and you can't remove them because they're not ready to go yet. And then there's a whole bunch of other processes and things. And then finally, the crazy one decides to go ahead and go because it can't take the insane no more because it's way up there. And so then that one leaves, that you finally got to remove or whatever. And then all of a sudden, here comes something else. Maybe it's something new to the property now that's the insane. So it's more than the insane, the original insane. And so it just keeps going on and on and on. And so, but yeah, I knew that it's not done yet. It's just, God, I'm even hearing it too. Come on. They were like, it's just the beginning. And I'm like, really? No. And it kind of is, because finally I realized like who my twin flame is. And so it is the beginning of the work, because I've only just it hasn't been too long. So they are right about that. So God. Anyway, but it is much, much better. I will say that. I am very ecstatic on that. So what happened? Why is it? Somehow they were okay. I must have had them mixed up. Anyway, let me reshuffle them for a second, because they were like, some were flipped and then some were in the right position. And so I don't want to, because of that, just trying to be fair and make sure that it is shuffled and all of that as well. I don't know if I'm going to change that color or what. I like that color. Okay. So I'm going to go with, which one? Because this ain't that many. It's literally only 4. It feels like all of them too. So I want to leave them in the order that they're at, because everything has to be in order, a specific way. All right, so we're down to this, and then we will be, we're at 34 minutes. Yes, little man. I guess I'm fixing to find out what he needs, because he is not going to stop until he gets his way. Yes, that means come here when he does that. Yes, little man. Hang on. I know, just hang on. Let me see. God, man. This is probably going to end up being it's solo video. I don't know. Let me focus. Okay, that one too. Yay. Michael James. Yes, I know, babe. Hang on a second. Let's see. Looks like those 3 with this one in that order. Wow. Dude, come on. Y'all are going to wear me out. I won't even be able to do the emotion code. I might even end up having to do the emotion code another day. I'm not doing the whole thing. Like, that's too many cards already. I've never heard a guy do that. That one was like, stop fighting me. It was a male. Well, I mean, come on. Like, seriously, dude. I'm, 50 cards or whatever, even if that, it's still a lot. Like, I'm going to be too tired. This is like, reminds me of what my niece and everything. So there's no way. Oh. Anywho's, angel numbers. I hope it's not the dog that I'm hearing, because that might be why he's trying to get me. Because I've been letting her off the leash lately, and my little boy. Thank goodness, because little man, what ended up happening is he was trying to get my attention because he must be tired too. Because I was like, there's no way I'm the only one that's feeling this way. Um, I forgot I had my sheets in the washer, and so I got them in the dryer now. And then I was washing his too, and then I got to finish all that tomorrow. Anyway, uh, I realized too when I was out there, I was like, oh, okay, so it's got to be one of your friends, by the way. And so, because the one that was saying whatever he just said, I can't remember what was just said. And stop fighting me. And when I was out there, I was just like, okay, we're gonna have to like go through this as quick as we can because I am tired. And I'm hoping I can do this clear enough. And I would like to do the emotion code thing. We'll see if I have enough energy to do it today or not. If not, it might be tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so I just realized that, yeah, so if one of your friends had that type of personality with how things were going, then, you would know. All right, so the last deck, or the last ones, let me focus. That one just keeps standing out fine. It was actually those two. That one too. Man, yeah, seriously though? Because I am tired. All right. I'm just trying to make sure. It's like there feels like there's more. And that's weird because it almost feels okay. This is weird. These are the ones that I pulled to read from. This is the one that I'm not supposed to be reading from. However, it feels like it's supposed to be opposite. It feels like it's actually supposed to be, because this is new to me. The ones that's not supposed to be, is supposed to be, and then the opposite, is what it feels like. I've never done that before. What ifs? I'm going to leave them both in case, because so much is pulled that it could actually be both, but they have to be read at a specific way, specific time, because everything has to be specific. It has to be aligned, and this, that, and the other. All right, so we're going to jump right into it. I hope I can do this quick enough. There's just no way, man. This is way too. If y'all could see what I'm talking about, this is way too many cards. All right. So this is your question answered cards. So now this one, I'll try to tap into it, but basically whatever question that comes to your mind, like think about it, feel on it. If you have something already, if you don't, pause the video. But if you do, then let's go forward, and then that kind of thing. And then each time I pull another one, hurry up and pause the video if you don't have the next question. Because sometimes it's quick. It's like boom, 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 boom. It's able to go with it. Other times it's like, hold on a second, and then it might fluctuate between two things, and then finally a clear answer comes or whatever. So there's always reasons. But anyway, so again, get whatever you need, answer, question or whatever, and then, like I said, pause the video if you're not ready. But the first card is close, but keep digging. And so right now, I'm going to also use this as tapping into both because, like I said, this is the work that I'm doing. And that, for me, answers the questions that I've had in my mind that, like I was just saying, literally pretty much while I was pulling this, is that I feel like there's more, blah, blah, blah. And that, it seems like it's done, but it's not done yet. And so for me, that answers that. Okay, the next card is yet to be discovered or revealed. See how the order's going already? You should be able to see it. I wish you could see the actual artwork, though. But, and it's not my artwork, of course. The next card is keep searching. Like I'm saying. I can tell it's not done. I'll leave these flipped over, too. And then the next card is, I'm trying to take a little time so you can pause it if you need to, is no. So that one, I don't know. Again, once I pull the rest, I'll figure it out as well. And we're going to see from there. So I'm going to leave these flipped over and then look at it. So close, but keep digging. Yet to be discovered or revealed. Keep searching. No. I'm just trying to fill into like any direction because obviously he's guiding me along with others. Huh. I'm seeing actual, like a vision of like digging, like literal digging. But I don't know where because it's like so zoomed in. I mainly see like maybe that much of the shovel and that like just a little bit of the ground. It's not a rocky area. It looks like the grass is short. And it's not like full of thick grass. Like you still see the dirt and then there's like some grass. I'm hearing the name Heather. And it doesn't necessarily, I mean, sometimes the names can be spot on. It could literally be a name that starts with an H. It could be a name that sounds close to Heather. It could be, trying to think of different ways to explain it because sometimes people are like, I don't know. I don't know of a Heather. And then when I explain all this and it's like, oh, okay. It could just also be that it's a female. It could be, like digging a grave is what I just heard. And so a female, if it ain't a literal name of Heather. I know that I'm in that situation right now because of what's going on, but I'm trying to not focus on that. So I don't know if it was to me or to a friend. But you'll know. You'll know for sure. Do I need to move on to the next? I think so. All right, it's time to move on to the next, which is what is it cards, but I don't have it tailored for that. So again, like with all of these, even though I have them in a specific way and I'm going to be revealing, definitely, again, pause the video before I reveal it and everything because I'm fixing to find out myself. I don't know what it is either. So, all right. Okay, so object. No, it's tiny written. Means a rainbow thing. Man, where is a light? Okay, means a material thing that can be seen and touched, and then read guidebook. And that's where I'm gonna be explaining all that kind of stuff. Because you can take literally the word object like in many different ways, and so, but so digging. So then, if it's okay, so it's two meanings. So somebody digging a grave and everything. Be careful. On top of, there also needs to be an object that needs to be found that is only found by being dug up. Yeah, and that's what that is. Let me move this. Okay, so that's a double meaning, and that's what it means. The next cards is amount of time and how long cards. So get the, your guidance and everything, how it is. All right, it can be in a few months. I don't know if that's for me to answer, for you only. I'm not going to answer it yet. Can be in a few weeks. So we got months, weeks. The next card is can be in one day. That feels like that one pertains to me. Can be in an hour. That's why I'm supposed to be pulling one, but there's different meanings. I can tell that's going. Like I said, there's so much. Can be in a little bit. That's funny how it's like months. It literally like is in that order. Yeah, months, then weeks, then one day, hour, and a little bit. It like just went in order, like countdown 3, 2, 1. However you feel, but I think that one is for me. For what did I say? The one that I felt was the tomorrow or whatever one. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. Because like I said, I'm just going to keep going and just keep piecing together is all that I can do. Same thing. Get your question. If you got to pause the video, then go ahead and pause it. But I'm going to try to keep this going as quick. Okay, this is, what I say, what it can be cards. So look within for the answers. Like how I was saying about, I felt that my twin flames energies is one of the reasons that needs to be worked on as far as trying to release and things like that. Because the answers, because it's within. That's what I'm being guided as far as my twin flames guidance. I don't know. Could be totally opposite. I don't know. Anyway, the next one is some form of protection needed, smudge, prayer, intent, crystal, incense, sprays, etc. Yeah, I know that because I can tell, like I said, that it feels like a residual on him, but there could be more. I'm gonna have to tap into it though. But I did, yeah. Oh, I can't. I'll say this. I'll do it this way. Okay, so if you're curious about mediumship type of things, what people do is, because it's educational, found a clever way, or so I think. Anyways, basically, we look at pictures and things like that, and so we're able to read into the energies, feel into it, and blah blah blah. Like there's different ways, different methods, different this, different that. There's so much that I would have to explain, but I'll try to break it down really quickly. So yeah, so we look at pictures and stuff, and so I'll be able to do that and try to see basically what else that I can do, um, or what else is needed, and then usually writing is the thing. I don't know how else to explain it. Anyways, which will be later. All right. Um, so the next question for you, or what it could be, thing, whatever. This can be residual energies, what I was just talking about. Residual, huh? Can be residual energies, residue, can be intelligent too. Oh. That's probably what's going on. It's got to be both. It has to be both. It has to be residuals from previous and then another new one. Because like I said, it's a new hierarchy or whatever you want to call it. It comes in and this, that, and the other. So that's got to be what's going on. It's got to be a new one. Just residuals on top of a new. So I'm going to have to dig and try to figure that out. Okay, making sure I still have it. And then the last one is, or the last card is crystals might be needed for the stone's specific metaphysical meanings or properties. So, like, you could do either like a crystal healing or crystals to be found or something to do with crystals, blah, 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 blah. Which I've been needing to do a crystal healing session on myself. I've been thinking about doing that. And so, that to me, for me, that's what I think they're saying is that when I do the session on me, it's going to also help my twin flame too. So, okay. Guided messages from, and then basically same concept, pause when you need to. The first card is Dragon Hierarchy, all elements. Okay. So what I was meaning by that's so funny because I don't use the word hierarchy at all, y'all. Like, I really don't. Like, if you just watch my videos or you got to know me or whatever, I don't do that. It's like only if I'm teaching or, whatever reason. And I'm noticing I've been saying that today. So there's definitely something with hierarchy as well as a, what do we call it? Oh my gosh. Like a synchronistic word or something. So in other words, there's meaning, there's confirmation with it. It's just got to be figured out why hierarchy is the thing. So I got to remember that too somehow. And definitely keep an eye out for that too. But anyway, so what I was saying is like all elements, all levels of different types of dragons, including like the water, fire, this, that, and the other, So whichever one stands out. And usually for me, I've worked with mostly for like protection and things like that, but there's different, like I said, there's so much out there. But with what's going on right now, I do feel, again, it's kind of adding another layer of saying protection. All right, so the next card is Lords and Ladies. I'm trying to remember why I did that. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I don't think it would be because now see, okay. That is kind of funny though. But at the same time it's not really. Okay, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I know that I really feel that my twin flame, one of the past lives, he was a king, I was a queen or princess or whatever level. God, my nose, man. Anyway, um, and that was the love of my life. Unfortunately, I was laying in bed. Oh God, I hate all this freaking. I just hope it doesn't get stopped because of the word. I'm sorry. Then I'm gonna have to go behind and edit and all this stuff, and I don't feel like editing because I'm tired and I want to get it up there. Anyway, where are we at? We are at 52 minutes. I knew it was gonna be long, so I don't know. We'll see how long what I do. Anyways, um, and so I was laying there. I was in the long sleeve, long, like a velvety kind of look or whatever, or it just seemed to be. Blue dress, dark blue. And I remember I had like roses or something in my hair. There was, and I remember his kind of, he had like a rabbit, I think, fur thing on or whatever, coat like thing. That it was black, or it was white with black dots. He had long brown hair. I also have brown hair too. Yeah, pretty much kind of like the length that I have right now. It's like it's I barely have any there. Anyway, really long hair. Okay, it's like I think past my hips or whatever now, but like that back then too. No, it was probably at the top of my hip in that vision, and I was light skinned. I don't know what color eyes. My eyes were closed, but I don't know exactly what happened. I was laying out in a field, and he was kneeling over me, and I could feel though like the world was so different back then. Like the energies and everything was just so different. I don't know. It's like I don't know. I don't know. That's where I'm starting to question now because like we're told what history was like. My version of that time, it felt peaceful. So if it really wasn't like that, then maybe it was in another planet lifetime. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, that's that. I'll go into detail about that sometime. Um, but that's what I feel with that. Which one was that? It was the lords and ladies. Yeah, because of the king queen. But I don't know. I don't know exactly why I did that. I'm trying to remember. Anyways, the next card is gods or goddesses. So some might be needing to be worked with as far as maybe like specific type of because like everything when you're cleansing everything needs everything almost. So like if there's like biblical stuff, of course that's going to need like a Christian or whatever to do that type of stuff. If it's something nature related or whatever, like there's different things that needs to be done. Anyway, you get where I'm going at with it. The next one is mermaids, mermans, all water elements. And that's kind of funny because I was just talking about how I feel that one of my past lives for sure was a mermaid. But the dragon thing makes me think of my twin flame too because reptile, dinosaur, like they all kind of feel interconnected for me anyhow. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are, but just that's how it's always felt for me. And then the next card is fairy realm, fairies, woodland beings, all elements of fairies. So yeah, and like I said, I know one of the locations is definitely full of that amazing stuff, and that's why I love the energies there. There's certain areas out there that got tainted that I had to cleanse, and then I don't know if it's fully cleansed or not yet, as far as all that. But with all of them coming in like that, it could be either or that it did, or there's more work to do, or it didn't, or you know what I mean. So it's one of those things where I feel like over time it's going to be revealed as well, and we'll see. That's what it feels for me. But for you, however it feels, then it could just sound silly. Whatever. I don't know. All right. So angelic realm hierarchy of angels, archangels, angels, and unicorns. Unicorns are with the angelic realm, by the way. They're That's what's so trippy. Before I even knew that or learned that, when I was dealing with a lot of the dark stuff over there during the cleansing days, I was doing a spirit box session, and if I didn't delete it, it'll still be on there. I'll eventually find it and I'll eventually share all that. But basically, it ended up where while I was doing the session, all of a sudden I'm seeing a black horse and with red eyes and stuff. And I was like, that don't feel right. What is this, a headless man or whatever? And I was like, that ain't cool. And then all of a sudden I'm seeing the skeleton dude that looks like Jack Skellington with the suit and everything like that. And I'm like, what is going on here? This is weird. He's riding him and everything. I'm like, well, he's got his head on, but he is a skeleton. And I already knew what realm it was. And so I'll get there in a second. But I was just like, okay. And then I'm like, I was like, and did I just see a horse that you're riding? And then I literally hear a horse neigh, do the little neigh sound or whatever. And I was like, and it picked it up. It picked it up on the spirit box. And I was just like, on the recording and everything too. I was just like, oh my God. I was like, okay, well, the thing is that, like I just got done saying, you got the archangels and you got the unicorns. And they do share the same realm. And of course, those are pure. That's divine love and light, right? Then you got the fallen archangels called the devil entities. That's what that is. That are about 7 foot tall. Same thing like archangels. They all vary really on height and everything. Not too much difference, but it seems to be like the shadow people, which are the fallen angels. The angels and all are about 6 foot tall. The devil entities 7 foot tall, and so I've seen them skeleton version looking. I've seen them in shadow form, different things like that without wings. Just like the unicorn didn't have. It was a horse look, but it didn't have its horn. And so you got light, dark, everything, gray, blah blah blah. So you see where I'm getting at with it. Anyway, all right, next one. Your loved ones are giving you guided, confirming signs with butterflies, hummingbirds, feathers, coins, etc. So sometimes, like each spirit, like let's say Aunt Susie decided to use a butterfly. And so when you see a specific butterfly and you feel that connection with Aunt Susie, then that's how you know it's Aunt Susie. You might see a bird the next minute, but the bird don't represent her. All of a sudden, Uncle Jim, you might feel, oh, that mockingbird feels like Uncle Jim. And so every time you see, so that's just how it works. And so they usually, and they can sometimes hop from different meaning to meaning because they're trying to get your attention. So that's just how it works. Just like that male spirit that I heard clear as day too, by the way. And I really know he has to be from you because I've never heard him. The vibe and everything's familiar, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm trying to remember what I said I was going to do with that one. It would be up here. All right, these are the where is it at cards. So again, just pause. I'm going to try to go as quick as I can, and I'll explain my situation, which will hopefully help you if you're new to this type of stuff to be able to figure out what it is for you. Okay, so the first location is basement, garage. There wouldn't be a basement though. The only other thing I could think of would be like where I said the digging thing or something, or I don't know. Garage. I don't think there's a garage. It's sort of a garage, but it's not a garage. But okay, yeah, that could be my garage. Because I got to remember there's, so basement, garage, basement my brother would have. And then woods, guest room, water source or mountains. Yeah, it seems like it's pulling in some of my brother's stuff too. In Gettysburg. Bathroom, because I'm feeling it's different locations. I'll explain in a second. That could possibly be here because they kept harping about bathroom here during spirit box session, along with these cards I had pulled for that too. But it could be over there. But I'm just saying, vehicle, a bathroom, no, a bedroom or room. Almost the whole everything. Dining room and outside. That's going to be fun to try to break down. I'm assuming basement would be my brother's. Garage could be here. But again, use your intuition and what it feels like for you. Woods, it feels like both. Could be here and there because I know that there's stuff over there at the woods for sure. Yeah, both. Guest room. And that would have to be there. I don't feel that would be here. But I will keep it in mind though. Water source or mountains. That could be my brother, but I'm trying to think of the water source there or what. Because like things can break. Oh yeah. Okay, sorry. It's like I'm being told. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to keep up. Okay. Yes, over there, the water things. That one time they had broke, I had felt that it was something that had triggered that. And then working, but whatever triggered it, that one might still be there that I need to work on, is what I think that's being said for that. So that would be that. But then I'm also feeling like something coming up, maybe also with a water source. It seems like there, it could be here. I don't know, but it seems like there. I don't know which. I'm assuming the second. Let me see. Because then I was about to say, okay, so guest room. What was it all before? Guest room, wood, garage, basement. Water source, what's the next? Bathroom. So I don't know if it's going to be the bathroom or the guest room. And I don't know if that's the bedroom with the fish tank thing or guest or there's something with it. And then vehicle, I'm trying to just see who, where, boop, boop. I mean, I know I'm dealing with that right now, but if there's more meaning besides just that situation, unless it's like the water heater or something for the vehicle, I don't know. Something like that could be thing too. So I don't know. Hopefully not. Bedroom or room, dining room outside. Because it keeps pulling up rooms. So I'm assuming because you've got the guest rooms, bedrooms, room, blah, 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 blah. And it did feel like certain, and I noticed, yeah, because today I noticed that the energies were out of whack inside the house over on the original. I think that was the original. I'm pretty confident. So, and I was going to do work on later when I got relaxed for the two that was in the thing. Trying to be careful here. I hope you're able to keep up if you do see this. But and then it sounds like something needs to be outside. So like if you've questioned maybe does something need to go out there, then that helps answer that. I don't know why it came like that, but for some reason it did. All right. Then yeah, this one I was laughing at because I was like, really, all of them? It's crazy. Anyway, so it is all of them. So let's see what's going on with it. So this will be second question answered cards. So if I don't get any guidance, it's going to be solely for you. So this is what it's going to be. And again, pause it and everything for you. Yeah, I'm going to probably end this video and then I'll start the second one for the emotion code and all that. I think so. And then I might upload them tonight. Okay, the first card is yes. Maybe that's my answer to upload it tonight. It does feel like I need to, though. All right, so the second card, again, you got to pause it and just kind of feel what you need to know. And then try again. Let me go see it. Near. And then the third card is no. And the fourth card is maybe. For me, I didn't feel anything because I didn't get to sit down and ask a question. Now, when I rewatch it or whatever, if I do to edit, because I might not, I don't know. That's a problem because if I sit down to watch the edit, it's going to take a long time. Anyways, okay, this ended up weird. I was separated. Remember the last one where I was talking about it felt like I needed to read all of them or whatever, but it felt like the ones that were not needed were needed, and then vice versa. So, I'm going to start, I guess, with the. That's how I'm being guided. The supposedly not needed ones. I don't know, and maybe you do. I don't know. And whoever watches this, like I said, this is not just for me, my twin flame. Like, if you do feel like you resonate to any of this and you do feel like you need a little bit of help or whatever, then definitely let me know. And I will try my best to, I guess, help however I can when I'm able to. Because now, of course, if I was being paid, that's a different thing. But right now, I'm literally, having to, you heard, if you listen to the beginning, then you know what's going on. Okay, which way is it? All right. So... number 4. Okay, so this is angel number, and again, just pause the video when you need to and all that. So it'll be 4 or 4 4 or 4 4 4 or 4 fours. Okay, and then it is I think it's, oh my god, why do I have to make it so tiny? Oh, this has a light on it. I think it does. Or no, was it yet? No, it's the other one. And I don't know where it is. Let me see. Should be protection or needs protection, guidance, clarity, brings order to chaos, hard work, balance, stability, and grounding. And then it'll be from 7 to 4 sevens. So in other words, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, you get the point. All right. The keywords for this is self-discovery, intuition, spiritual awakening, personal growth, and celebrate success, I think. Yeah, because that's a problem. Like, when I'm making these, you don't know what's... Oh, God, that's even tinier. Oh my god. Anyway, that's little things like that I'll have to fix, of course. Oh jeez. Oh my gosh. All right, so 8 to 4 8s. And then the keywords is, okay, dude, that's just a handle I can do well. Especially with it being that tiny. Oh my god. I hate the change that they did on the phone. Why? I need my freaking thing, dude. Like, really? I need my flashlight. Flashlight. What is your deal? Oh, that's a little brighter. No, it ain't. Oh my god. Why is it not doing, like, I'm noticing, like, even my brother noticed that today. The phones for some reason acting weird. Like, it's not letting me pull up my because you have to pull down here, like further down, to pull up one section, and then you have to pull up from the top another section. I don't like that option, and it's not even letting me do that. It's pulling up the same thing now. So did they change that again or something? Or is the phone acting weird? Like, I really need to sell, like, the. Give me a second. Oh, this is frustrating. That is getting frustrating. I don't know what's going on. It's supposed to be working, but it's not working. I mean, well, okay. I am doing mediumship stuff right now, so that kind of is why. But, anyways, but the phone has been acting weird. Even my brother, he said the same thing. I was just like, because it's acting so funky, like misspelling words and things like that, like completely. Like things we're not even saying that is being said. And so when I go back and read it, the messages I was sending him, it was making me laugh so hard. I was like, dude, that's not even what I'm saying. And he's like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It makes me laugh too. So I was like, yeah. So I don't know what's going on, but it's acting weird. Anyways, abundance and prosperity, manifestation and achievement, family, ending and beginnings, positive changes, divine supports, infinite possibilities, and strength and resistance. Yeah, look at this little tiny thing. Like you could probably even barely see how you really see. It's not my eyesight. It just ended up so tiny, unfortunately. I was just like, oh my gosh, I didn't notice that until now because I haven't looked at all the cards. But anyway, that's something that's going to have to get fixed. And then angel numbers, and then 9 through 9999, so 4 nines. Completion, transformation, healing, recover, compassion, understanding, forgiveness, humanitarianism, and creativity. Hopefully, I don't need this. Oh, yeah, I will if I have to do the other cards. Anyways, so again, however it affects and is for you, is for you. I don't know if I'm going to do. They're like, yep. And I'm like, really? Yep. All right. So the next one is 1 through 111. That's the twin flame number, and manifestation number, and a whole bunch of other things. New beginnings, fresh start, independence, personal growth, and opportunity. Basically, those two. Now, it can't be in order. Yeah, because I did pull from it. All right, so this is 2 through 222. Basically, you're getting the whole freaking angel numbers in this thing. Balance, harmony, cooperation, teamwork, divine relationships. And then 3 through 3 through 3. And some of these, the intent for this is basically not to have all of them read, but hopefully like only like 1 through just a few. And therefore it'll help to like whenever, like, because after the reading, it's not done. It still continues. And that's usually where like whatever was said, that's where it's like you'll get the signs, synchronicities, confirmations, this, that, and the other afterwards as well. And so let's say 3 through 3 or whatever was your thing, and you felt like a strong vibe, like there's something with the 333. And then after the reading happens, and then all of a sudden you're thinking about the bedroom that I had mentioned, and there's something with the bedroom. And then you're guided to something else after that. And then to something, you see what I'm saying? So it'll continue, but this will help to confirm something for you along maybe with the keyword or whatever for it. Let's say one of the keywords or something stood out. So let's say the 333, I can't remember if I read it or not. No, I didn't. So 3 through 3 fours, however, 4 threes. Because I'm trying to focus and hurry and get this done. All right, ascended masters, communication, creativity, self-expression, manifestation, and wisdom. So let's say wisdom stood out for you. So there's something with the bedroom, something with wisdom. Maybe you learn something in there. You become wiser or something for whatever reason, from God, angels, Jesus, Mother Mary. I don't know. Oh, that's what that was. The lords and the ladies, like Lord Ganesha and all that. That's what that was for. Because I was like, okay, because that was coming to my mind right now. Yes. Okay. Anyways, hopefully that helped. I hope that was not an ant bite, because they have came in this room before. They love coming in homes. That definitely felt like an ant bite. Anyway, so yeah, thought I'd let y'all know that. All right. Because I try to remember, because like we're all where we're at on our learning journey and everything. And so whatever it is that we're learning. And so like if you're into this or whatever, maybe you're not, but if you are, then at least learning it helps to understand like, okay, well, what am I hearing? Because it's not making any sense because I don't know what the beep you're talking about. So, yeah. All right. So 5 through the 4 fives, got it correct. Um, change, transformation, personal growth, freedom, adventure, and abundance. And then 6 through 4 sixes, bring balance, focus, letting go, self awareness, and career. Feeling movement. And then the last one is 0, 1, 1, 0, or 10, 10. And that is joy, purity, unconditional love, alignment, positive mindset, opportunity, wholeness, leadership, 1 new beginnings, 0 0 amplifies number 1. Anyway, yeah, that. So I know you are a starving rat, Michael. I've already got you all that food made, baby. You're just gonna have to deal. The problem is he's craving the bad stuff that's with restaurants and fast foods and things like that. And so because I'm not ordering, I can't order. I have to cook. I don't have the money to just sit there, and that's just insane. Like they should not be charging that much. They should be. We're not supposed to be eating this, but that's why he's craving it, because he's not supposed to be eating that. But when you're tight on money, you kind of got to do what you got to do. And yes, I know, little man, I love you too. And there you go, baby. Hey, look, we do the little kissy thing. I can't even remember what I was going to say, but anyway, so yeah, so that's this. I don't think there's anything else at the moment, but I will have this to go on later, because when I'm trying to retap into it, I do feel this is a later thing as well. That when things start to surface again and things like that, it's going to help maybe to pinpoint locations quicker and different things and all that. Some of it was revealed right now, like the stuff that I was talking about, like the water thing and all that. Like that was very clear that was. I know it was a past thing, but it feels like there's also something coming up though with that too. So just like what I was telling my brother, I kept telling him, like, there's something. I was like, I don't know if it's going to be the miracle check or if it's something else. And so I had no idea, but I was like, I feel that it's going to be in May. And I was like, hopefully. And so literally the second to the last day of May, just recently, my cousin, contacts me, and she's just like, we need help. Basically, it's signing papers because her sister is selling the house, my grandma's house, and the way that the deed and everything, that kind of thing. So there's just a mix up with the paperwork, blah, blah, blah. So somebody's going to have to come out here sometime this week, and then I'm going to have to sign the paperwork and all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't the miracle thing. It was to literally do that. However, I was like, yesterday, I think it was, I tapped into it, and I'm like, okay, it feels like something for me was, I think it was June, July, and then September or something. I can't remember. I have it wrote down, I think, for I texted it to my brother. So we'll see what happens with that. That could possibly be like what I'm talking about. Maybe finally like SSA or, something, or the car. It's going to have to be the car, because it's going to have to go ASAP, unfortunately, if it ain't tore up. And because I did get a vision of him, because he's mentioned it before, about burning the house down and things like that. So he would probably come in, start a fire while I'm sleeping or something, and then, But anyway, so I did see a vision of that earlier, and I'm just like, man, I really hope not. And I'm like, I'm just going to try to be as positive as I can and hope for the best, basically, is all that I can do. And but yeah, so that's that. I don't know. Should I try to push it and just put everything in one video? But I don't think it'll upload. I don't think it will. So I guess what I'll do is that way we'll end this one on this. I'll start it back up because I think I can go ahead and do the session real quick. I think. I'm just hoping I can be guided to something that I can do just really fast and not spend like forever on. And the emotion code is like perfect. And I'll explain all that then and everything. I'm going to be adding something very similar like that to my mediumship course as well, but that's in time. I'll figure all that out. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and end this, like I said, and then I'm going to come back in the next video. If you are interested, is going to be the emotion code session that I'm going to be doing. And that'll be next.